The IMF Annual Meeting Report on SK Newsline is brought to you by the St. Kitts Nevis Anguilla National Bank and Hope Economics.
Mimi, what's that song? There is no better time to discover what your National Bank Visa debit card can do. It can get you out of a pickle. Using my National Bank Visa card is fast, secure, and convenient.
Cashless SKN is our new lifestyle choice. National Bank, always here.
I'm standing outside the World Bank headquarters here in Washington, D.C. I'm Andre Huey for SK Newsline, coming to you from Washington, D.C., where I've been covering the IMF and World Bank annual meetings. Now, these meetings are very important. Finance ministers and delegations from all over the world, of the member countries, attend these meetings to discuss matters of the world. But outside the building, a lot have groups to come right in front of the World Bank if they have an issue that they want to raise with these multilateral groups. One of those groups is a group of Tigrayans. That's the region, the northwest region in the northernmost region. They live in here. They have been protesting all week this week in front of the World Bank. They essentially want to get the World Bank not to give any aid or any money. Of course, national news, you will realize that there has been somewhat of a civil war in Ethiopia between the Ethiopian federal government and the Tigrayan people. That has been going on since November 2020. A lot of life and a lot its basis. On this week, during one of the protests, I had the chance to speak to some of the Tigrayans who are out there protesting right across. This is what they had to say.
Our people have been, there has been a genocide that's declared for 800 days in counting in Tigray, which is northern part of Ethiopia. So we are protesting against the genocide that's taken place on our people, which is in East Africa.
Right. Can you give us an idea for viewers, at least, what exactly is happening in Ethiopia? We've seen it on the news, but I think most people from the Caribbean, they have a vague understanding of what is actually happening in Ethiopia.
Okay. On November 4 of 2020, Ethiopian government declared the war against the people of Tigray. Ever since, there has been a genocide that's taken place. There are 500,000 people that are dead since the start of the war. Over 7 million people are in dire need of humanitarian assistance in Tigray. There is currently an active war between the Ethiopian government and the Tigrayan defensive forces. And we are fighting basically for our existence. And basically what's going on is the world ignored to acknowledge the genocide that's taken place and allow the Ethiopian government to partake in these kinds of genocide. So there's a genocide that is actually an active genocide that's taken place. Not only the international community failed to do it, the United Nations actually went out of its mandate to protect the Tigrayans, because there is actually a mandate to prevent genocide. So there was all the signs prior and after and during the United Nations to intervene. So the Secretary General just keep, blatantly disregarding that law, which just was passed in 2007 after the Rwandan genocide.
To the international community, the Tigray people need your support. The Tigray people are not getting anywhere close to treatment like the Ukrainians are getting. Ukraine has been supported and is fighting the invasion. But the situation in Tigray, I guess because we're East Africans, but we're Africans, we don't know. The U.S. is ignoring it. The European Union had a good resolution passed, but there is no action. So we need action so the starvation can stop, the blockade can end, and the war on the people of Tigray can stop. That's our wish. And We hope our African brothers and sisters will be on our side because the African Union is not doing anything.
What I'd like to pass out a message for the World Bank is that the Ethiopian government has kept hostage 7 million Tigray people, civilians, in the siege with no food, no life-saving medications, and but trying to bail out the Ethiopian government because the Ethiopian government is only going to use the money to mobilize that money to use it to keep genociding the Tigray people.